Okay, in keeping with the theme that evil doesn't exist, let's talk about swear words. You have the Puritans out there who say that there are evil words, this group of words is evil words. Then on the other side, you have the politically correct liberals who say that no, those words are fine, but these words are evil words. They've just got the wrong words that are evil. But both these groups believe that there are evil words and good words. And when you use these evil words, you're being vulgar. Now, I'll try to not use evil words just so I don't get kicked off these anti-free speech websites. But what I would define as vulgarity is to justify an immoral act. And one thing that we can talk about is drone strikes. Now, these drone strikes are usually it's not usually not even the president's, the CIA. They're getting information from usually second party sources. If it's a first party source, then they can actually have their guys who see the target. Now, if they have their guys who see the target, then they should perform the assassination up close and personal. Even if it's just, poisoning, or you get a small little robot to do it, or you get a gun. They should do it themselves, because if once you do it with a missile, right, there's all this collateral damage, and once you kill one innocent person, then you're creating like 10 terrorists for like each person that you kill. And so Bush and Obama have created more terrorists than Osama bin Laden ever could think of, because of these just let's go kill and bomb tactics. And so these drone strikes don't make military sense. I'm not a pacifist. I believe in self-defense. I believe that most wars are not for self-defense, but so I'm close to a pacifist, you could say. But I believe in self-defense. But so these drone strikes do not make military sense, because they're creating more terrorists, and they're immoral too, in my opinion. Even if they did make military sense, because you're basing your sole decision usually on second party information, and that second party information could be some guy who has a blood feud with this other family, like a Muslim Hatfields versus McCoys type thing, and so he's going to go up and say, oh, I know where these terrorists are. They're over here, and Bush and Obama end up blowing up a wedding party where there are no terrorists. And so these drone strikes they're murder. They're murder. There's no justification, military or moral, for these drone strikes. It's just pure murder. And I would say that is vulgar, for someone to get up and say, no, these are fine, these are good for military, these are good for the defense of the United States. That's very vulgar for you to say that murder is really a good thing. That murder is defense, murder is goodness, and it's vulgar. Another example of vulgarity would be, a woman who cheats on her husband and says, well, it's not my fault, he wasn't paying attention to me. If you have problems in your marriage, fix those problems or leave. Don't justify, that's vulgar speech. But with the presidents, they they stand up there and they don't use any evil words, you know, and they've got this real presidential demeanor, you know, no angry faces, you know, very professional, very honorable, and you know, there's no vulgar, you know, gestures or facial expressions. It's sick what it is. Again, you know, we've got morality switched. And right, what's happening is that they're making speech bad, right? And yet they're saying that us talking to one another is a bad thing. You know, if I have something to say that might be uncomfortable to somebody else, I shouldn't say it. When you try to demonize speech, especially contentious or controversial speech, people aren't able to solve their problems, solve their contentions on a peaceful manner. The only other recourse is violence. And so when you demonize speech like this, when you say that this word is evil, this is an evil word, and you can't say that word, then you're really demonizing people talking to one another and solving problems peacefully. You know, violence is going to be the result, and so again, we've got it switched around. You know, it's now good for us to use force, you know, in some cases against people who want to speak. It's now good for us to have this collective judgmentalism. You know, let's all get together and sneer at this evil person who calls another person a bundle of wood or a bundle of sticks. You know, oh, how dare he say that? Yeah, you know, or someone who uses the F word will condemn them to the conservative hell, or will condemn them to the liberal hell. I mean, this speech is talking to one another is demonized. And yet force and judgmentalism is put on a pedestal. It's like, oh hey, let's save society by let's save the morals of society by doing these despicable acts of force and judgmentalism. So for all you conservatives and liberals out there, you can suck my balls, right? And just so you don't fight over which one, you know, the conservatives, you know, you can have my right nut, and the liberals, you can have my left nut.